Hi students, now let us discuss about one of the most important scheme initiated by the government of India, that is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. This scheme was launched on 18th February 2016. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India is the nodal agency for the implementation of this scheme. Now, let us look at the objectives of this scheme. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana aims at supporting sustainable production in agriculture sector by way of number one, providing financial support to farmers suffering crop loss or damage arising out of unforeseen events. Then another one, stabilizing the income of farmers to ensure their continuance in farming. Then another point is encouraging farmers to adopt innovative and modern agricultural practices, ensuring credit worthiness of the farmers, crop diversification, and enhancing growth and competitiveness of agriculture sector, besides protecting the farmers from production risks. So these are the important objectives of this scheme, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Then who are the target groups? The target groups include all farmers, including sharecroppers and tenant farmers growing notified crops in a notified area during the season who have insurable interest in the crop are eligible. So this particular point is very important. All farmers, including sharecroppers and tenant farmers growing notified crops in a notified area during the season who have insurable interest in the crop are eligible. Then another point, initially it was compulsory for loanee farmers. However, now it has been made voluntary for all farmers, including loanee farmers. Then the key features of this scheme. As far as key features of this scheme are concerned, it is centrally sponsored scheme and it replaces the National Agricultural Insurance Scheme. So in place of National Agricultural Insurance Scheme, the present scheme has been initiated and modified National Agricultural Insurance Scheme. The restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme is still continued. Restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme is still continued. Then coverage of the crops. That means what are the crops that are covered under this scheme? Food crops like cereals, millets and pulses, oil seeds, then annual commercial or annual horticultural crops. Pilots for coverage can be taken for those perennial horticultural commercial crops for which standard methodology for yield estimation is available. Then area approach basis. That means this particular scheme has adopted the area approach. This principle assumes that all the farmers in a notified area, that means insurance unit, face similar risks. Insurance unit face similar risks for a notified crop. The insurance unit is notified by the state or union territories and is village or village panchayat for major crops and or above village or village panchayat for other crops. Are rate of premium payable by the farmer. During Kharif season, 2% of sum insured or actuarial rate, whichever is less. So this is for crop insurance, the farmers are supposed to pay the premium. Then during Rabi season, 1.5% of sum insured or actuarial rate, whichever is less. Then commercial or horticultural crops, both annual and perennial, 5% of sum insured or actuarial rate, whichever is less. Then central subsidy. Initially, the contribution of the state and center was shared on 50-50 ratio. However, it was restructured in 2020 and now the central contribution is up to central contribution is up to 30% for unirrigated areas or crops, 25% for irrigated areas or crops. Districts having 50% or more irrigated area will be considered as irrigated area, and district for both Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and other schemes. Then 90% for northeastern states. So this is the central subsidy. So these points are very important. That is 30% for unirrigated areas, that is the central contribution, then 25% for irrigated areas, then 90% for northeastern states. Then insured sum of crops. States and union territories can either choose scale of finance or district level value of national average, here district level of notional average level yield at MSP. Farm gate price will be considered for the other crops for which MSP is not declared. So the insured sum of the crops is based on this kind of calculation. Then to guarantee that women farmers and members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are fully covered by the scheme. Again, this point is very important. To guarantee that women farmers and members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are fully covered by the scheme. Then a 3-year period of business allocation to insurance companies. Previously, the states had floated tenders for terms ranging from 1 to 3 years. States will not be permitted to execute the scheme in consecutive seasons if they persistently postpone providing the necessary premium subsidies to the relevant insurance companies for an extended period of time. The establishment of penalties and incentives for states, insurance companies and banks who settle claims after the designated cutoff date. States have been allowed to set up their own insurance companies for implementing the scheme. This is again very important. States have been allowed to set up their own insurance companies for implementing the scheme. Then expected impact. It offers full insurance protection against crop loss due to unavoidable natural risks, helping to stabilize farmers' income and enticing them to embrace novel approaches. Increased risk coverage from pre-sowing to post-harvest losses during the crop cycle. So these are the two advantages for the farmers who participate in this crop insurance scheme. So these are the some of the important points related to the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana.